Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome, 8th grade learners, to today's explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here, because today we are mastering the claim, which is, honestly, the true art of the argument. I want you to think about reading and writing not just as standard schoolwork, but as an actual journey. Whenever you sit down to write a persuasive essay, or, say, read an article, you're essentially embarking on a road trip. And every single road trip needs a destination, right? So today, we're going to learn exactly how to figure out where the driver is trying to take you, and even better, how to get in the driver's seat yourself.
So, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been, trapped in the passenger seat of a car that's just driving totally aimlessly? They're taking left turns, right turns, U-turns, and you're just sitting there thinking, where on earth are we going? Or worse, have you ever been reading a text or listening to someone argue, and it feels exactly like that? They're throwing out all these facts, talking a mile a minute, but you have no earthly idea what the actual point is. It is so frustrating, right? Well, that feeling of being completely lost happens because the journey is missing its single most important element.
And that element? It's the claim. The claim is the ultimate destination of any text. It's the main point the author desperately wants you to believe or accept. Basically, it's an arguable statement of opinion. Without a clear claim, an argument is literally just wandering around the block over and over again. It's not just some random fact. It's a firm position. It's like the flag planted right at the top of the mountain that declares, "This is what I believe." And by the end of this journey, you're going to believe it too.
Here is our road trip itinerary for today's explainer. First, destination, what is it? Second, why the claim matters. Third, spotting and sorting claims. Fourth, fixing weak claims. And finally, wisdom, morality, and education. We know where we're headed, so let's put the car in drive.
Stop number 1, destination, what is it? Understanding the core of an argument.
You see, when a writer sits down to create a strong argument, they absolutely have to make a definitive choice about what they stand for. They can't be wishy-washy. They got to pick a lane. Actually, we can anchor this whole concept of a clear, definitive academic claim to a timeless biblical principle. Matthew 5:37 tells us, "Let your yes be yes and your no, no. Anything beyond this comes from the evil one." In life, just like in writing, having a clear direction is a real virtue. When you make a claim, you're officially saying yes to one idea and no to the opposing ideas. You are taking a stand. If you try to say maybe or sort of, you just create total confusion. A genuinely strong claim has that exact same moral clarity. It's an unmistakable yes or no.
Moving right along to section 2, why the claim matters, your roadmap for reading and writing.
Listen, understanding claims isn't just a school skill. It is a real-life survival skill. First off, a claim acts as the text's headline. It instantly tells you what the whole piece is about so you don't get lost. Second, and this is huge, guys, it protects you. Out there in the real world, people are constantly trying to persuade you. Politicians want your vote, companies want you to buy their stuff, influencers want your attention. If you can spot their claim, you can shield yourself from bad persuasion and ask, wait, is this actually worth believing? Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it empowers you. Finding strong claims makes you an infinitely better writer because you learn exactly how to build a rock-solid argument yourself.
Section 3. Spotting and sorting claims. Reading the signs along the way.
Okay, let's move from theory to practice. Here are the simple, everyday mechanics for spotting a claim out in the wild. Step 1, look at the first few paragraphs. Authors usually want to hand you the destination right up front. Now sure, sometimes they play a little trick and save it for the very end to build suspense, but the beginning is definitely your best bet. Step 2 is where you really have to put your detective hat on. You must separate the main arguable claim from the supporting evidence. So the crucial point is that a claim is an opinion you can actually argue with, while evidence, well, that's the facts, the quotes, and the statistics used to back it up. Simply put, if you can't disagree with the sentence, it's probably a fact, not the claim.
Which brings us to section 4, fixing weak claims, direct versus weak examples.
We're going to look at some real examples right now to see the stark difference between a driver who knows exactly where they're going and a driver who is, well, completely lost. Take a look at this comparison. A direct, strong claim sounds like this. School uniforms improve student focus and reduce distractions. Boom. It's clear, it's specific, and most importantly, it's arguable. Someone else could easily pop up and say, no, they don't. They stifle creativity. That's what makes it a great claim. Now look at the weak claim. School uniforms are interesting. I mean, what does that even mean? Interesting is a totally vague, bland observation. You cannot build a strong essay or argument around the word interesting. It's kind of like telling your family, hey, for our road trip, we're going somewhere interesting. They'd be terrified. You absolutely need a direct destination.
However, there's a third type you really need to know about, and that's the implied claim. Sometimes the destination isn't explicitly stated on some giant billboard. Instead, the author gives you a trail of clues, and you have to infer the claim yourself. For example, let's say an article spends 5 whole paragraphs giving you reasons why schools with uniforms have higher grades, fewer bullies, and save parents money. But they never actually write the exact sentence, "Uniforms are beneficial." You can still easily infer that this is their claim based on all that evidence. They're basically leading you right to the destination without ever saying the town's name.
All right, 8th graders, it is time for you to take the wheel. Here are your actionable homework tasks to practice these new skills. Number 1, read a short opinion article and actually underline the claim. Number 2, I want you to write one direct claim and one implied claim about whether cell phones should be allowed in classrooms. 3, find a really weak claim online and completely rewrite it to be strong and arguable. 4, explain in your own words the difference between a claim and evidence. And 5, watch a political ad. They're everywhere these days. Identify their claim and figure out if they're being direct or implied. Take charge of this, guys. These are the exact skills that make you an independent thinker.
And our final stop, Section 5, Wisdom, Morality, and Education, Finding Your True North.
We've talked a whole lot about academic intelligence today, but we need to pivot smoothly over to spiritual wisdom, because the raw truth is this: education without morality hurts. Think about our road trip metaphor. Being highly educated, knowing how to spot and craft brilliant arguments, is like having a Formula One race car engine under the hood. It is incredibly powerful. But if you don't have a moral compass, if you honestly don't know the difference between right and wrong, you're just driving a very, very fast car in completely the wrong direction. What is the point of being incredibly smart and supposedly educated if you use that intelligence to continue making bad choices that cause pain for yourself and the people around you? Intelligence desperately needs direction.
And that is exactly why the Godly Learner series intertwines biblical morality directly with education. Just look at the beautiful promise in Romans 8:6-7. It promises real peace of mind to everyone who keeps their mind spiritual. When you pair your sharp, newly educated mind with biblical morality, you aren't just winning random arguments. You are building a life of peace, purpose, and positive impact. This isn't just some theory for us, guys. It's exactly what we experience as learners engage with this kind of godly learning. Your education literally becomes a tool for good.
So you now have the tools. You know how to find the destination of any argument, and you know how to avoid being tricked by weak or confusing claims. And this brilliantly illustrates our whole road trip. But remember, the absolutely most important claim is the one you make with your own life. Where is your moral compass pointing, your own intelligence today? Are you headed toward wisdom and peace, or are you just driving fast with no destination? I challenge you to really think about that as you tackle your homework this week. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Stay sharp, stay focused, and I will see you on the next one.